refer to long-term chip industries such as nuclear power plants, and also we can say that outsourcing, because there is one example which is a Toyota recall situation. So based on this background, we can think about why, which aspect of KAIST PLM standard.
I think it's the need for collaboration between businesses. So, like even in the design nowadays, systems are becoming very complicated. So you find a lot of not just outsourcing the manufacturing, but sometimes the design can be outsourced. So, like how the different companies working on the same complex system can design together and then talk to each other from different disciplines, so electronics design and mechanical design. Other types of design, they can all come together and have a common language, I think. Or at least the software they use can have a common back-end language, which is the standard.
So standards will be able to communicate smoothly between the different companies, right?
Right.
What about
So when both going to discuss the two events for nuclear power plant and also Toyota recall situation. So you mean we can which aspect that is in the below in the paradigm? So there will be 6 aspects, right? So we can choose one. Like in the below there is a paradigm. So I mean, for which aspect? So, what does it mean? Which aspect?
For the power plant, in terms of maintenance, the operation for the nuclear power plant is very long, right? So sometimes, as time goes by, the documents, contents or the components will be changing, right? So if we have the concrete standard, it'll make explicit the communication.
But how about the Toyota?
It means outsourcing because these days a lot of industry outsourcing. For example, Toyota company will not make a whole system and whole construction, right? So, for example, for the Toyota, there was a proper brake and acceleration system. In this case, if we can check directly which components is a problem, and maybe the component company will use a different name or something like that. But if we have concrete standard between them, Toyota and company, we can quickly respond to that problem.
Yeah. So the reason why the cars are recalled is because of the standard problem of the product.
What I mean, because outsourcing is that they have different company and they communicate to each other, right?
Yeah, but so now the problem happened. So
the problem happened in component company.
Yeah.
But the main company Toyota needed to catch the problem quickly, right? And they needed to communicate correctly, right? So we have explicit standard to communicate both
production process in terms of quality, I mean, for like the fabrication sometimes, but this kind of like a problem happened. So yeah, I don't think there will be a big problem with the standard.
Yes.
I think like standard is one thing, and then channel of communication is another. But you need the standard to have the common language first, and then communication can be faster. So I think what Donguk is talking about is like if we have faster communication to give feedback, so maybe one of the maintenance shops discovered the problem, and then they can instantly transmit back the problem through the channel of communication, which is built on top of the standard. Then the supplier for the component can know the problem right away. So it's much faster, and maybe they can like avoid it in the next manufacturing batches and so on. So communication can be faster if we have a standard and then a channel based on that standard to kind of communicate our ideas together, I think.
This is the standard with the peer.
With
We
the
think about the
communication.
product
But
lifecycle
life
management,
cycle management.
not just focus on system.
Okay.
Or other.
In my opinion,
Yes.
Kim saying that is necessary for automation of system, because between system there should be standard language. Without standard, they cannot communicate, and automation cannot be realized. So I think clear standard needed for automation.
What about you?
I think clear standard is important to like B2B, yeah, because in this world the product information have to share to many companies. So if we have some standard in there, the companies can easily read the information, so they can make some other product, or they can manage them. So I think the sharing aspect is important to clear and standard.
Compared to the past, there is a few companies
Yeah.
compared to now. Next question.
Let me expand a little more. The first item is about time. Long term is about time. Second item is about space.
Space.
Right. So the first one can create problem, say after 50 years. Some problem happens after 50 years, then how can we solve it? That kind of thing we need a standard for handling information. Second one is, say Toyota has a problem of small spring component, but if the spring is manufactured in Brazil, then how can you manage the quality or problem there? So if they use same PLM system, then it can be connected direct through the internet. But usually they do not use same PLM. Even they use different languages there. Right? So we need such a standard for communication through the faraway company. Long distance instead of a long time.
two small company. So compared to the past, we should get the license. It costs a lot of money, but if you keep with the cloud computing environments, it just we can just pay for the a certain period without purchasing the full license. Also, for the mobile application, I just looked through the articles on the internet for the Hyundai heavy industry. Then outside there is a shipyard, right? So if we have a PC inside the building, we can they are equipped with the wireless access. So using the tablet PC inside the building, they can check the yard environment. So it really good. It really gave a good opportunity and improve really good for the PM.
I just had an idea. Maybe I'm not sure if it was implemented before or not, but you know, in software engineering, there's this source control or version control of software. So people can work together on the same piece of software, and then you have like forking out, and then they merge it together. You know, so different people improve different parts, and then they merge it together in one software. So and then you can have your own version of each open source software, and you can develop it yourself and so on. So maybe the same trend can be applied in design, I think. Like open source design or version control for designs. So we can have like a car design online, and I can like download the car design, modify it, and then maybe send it to a manufacturer to manufacture it for me. So the design will be like open source online, people collaborating together, or sometimes they call it crowdsourcing.
It's
People
kind
from
of
from different parts of the world, they can modify the design or they can customize it. And then manufacturing is more like a service. So after you make a design or you choose a design, you can do kind of manufacturing as a service. So it's maybe too wild of a dream, but I just thought maybe why not? It could be a trend in the future.
Is there another opinion?
You can design a city rather than a car.
Sure.
Last time you said the sensor will be important to IT industry. You said
Sensor.
sensor technique.
Yes, this question.
Yeah, that's discussion. Yeah, so I think like smart factory, each of the product
Yeah.
there's in some sensors, so we can manage it ourselves. So and then that data goes to some big cloud, so the company can manage the product easily and expect some informations about the products. So that kind of things can be done in the future PLM system.
With the sensor.
Yeah, with the sensor.
Then I mentioned about these two. First, cloud computing with PLM. I think it's not trend of PLM because PLM have product data and there is some companies important information, and I think cloud computing is vulnerable to hackers, so I don't think
Yes, I agree with your opinion. Also, I read the kinds of articles. Actually, these days, PLM, the Siemens PLM software is supported this cloud computing. Also, one problem is to keep the
application is important. I think it's very related to smart factory or cyber physical system. So I think mobile application with PLM is further trend.
As you have just said, security is very important. As technology development, then security also develop. Keep that software.
So how can it be important? Do you have some example?
Which
A mobile application. You said mobile application is important. So how can it be important?
I said it is part of smart factory CPS, cyber physical system, that is you can control by smartphone. You can control factory by smartphone, and
you deal with convenience to
which
deal
com-
with the appearance system. Only you have idea?
I think like cloud computing with PLM will be more promising in the future because nowadays even big data and also cloud computing and data management. So because recently the cloud, especially for the data management, like products are getting more and more complex. So this kind of data transformation is really important, and sometimes it just like I mentioned, like for ensuring security and even safety of data management process. So I think more and more technologies and even attentions will be focused on data management to ensure that all kinds of data can be transferred safely and securely. And even for this process, yeah, and also cloud computing can help us to manage the complex products, and just like you mentioned. So for shipbuilding process, we have a lot of point clouds, so we can use different point clouds to modify the product, and then for different parts of even for the shape, the hull, and because we have engine, we have the propeller, and even for some parts. So design a new product, so we can modify. Just if we have for old products for its point cloud, so we can modify the point cloud and to create a new product, a new part. So especially for sometimes we can improve and update the product based on the old one. So this kind of process can be very efficient and very useful. So in the process of production, so cloud computing, and especially for the efficiency, and even for productivity in this process can be very important. So if we can increase the cloud computing efficiency to reduce the time, and even for reduce time, so we can ensure that our design and even production process can be more available and possible in this process. But nowadays for cloud computing, I think the big obstacle for this process is
we if we use the cloud computing, it'll be good for the collaboration, right?
Yeah, collaboration, but
I think that is enough.
yeah, but this process, how can we ensure that it will be implemented efficiently and safely? So this is a challenging process. So I think in the future, high efficient cloud management and computing will be most promising trend.
Thank you for your opinion. Now, okay, we discussed the two questions and thank you for your cooperation. We finish this discussion. Thank you.
Can I start? Hello, my name is Ung-Sik Nam. I am proposal presenter of Team 1. Let's start. I'll present in the sequence, firstly, team member, and lastly, additional goals. All is our team member. All member is master candidate, and 2 ocean system engineering major and 1 mechanical engineering major. There are numerous CAD systems in the world, and it is frequent that companies use different CAD systems even between suppliers. It is possible to exchange CAD file between different CAD systems, but they cannot translate parameter or history. So this causes problem like design modification in company, and nowadays companies solve such problem by remaking CAD files. From this point of view, to save time and labor cost, translator between CAD is necessary, and this translator is using macroparametric approach, and this can translate 3D shape and parameter of CAD file. And design received by other CAD can be directly modified by translators. This is our goals of project. Our target system is TransCAD and FreeCAD, and we will develop translator between TransCAD and FreeCAD. And our target model is K1 model, which looks like envelope. It has sketch lines, circle, and 3D picture, extrude, and cut extrude or hole, and fillet. We may develop cut extrude because hole is some complicated. This is our workflow. Workflow is firstly we study TransCAD and FreeCAD, and we try to translate sketch first. And next 3D picture translation. And in last process, we integrate previous 2 process. And there are also tests in the respective process. Finally, we test our translator by K1 model. According to translator development, we use automation API of TransCAD and Python script or Python macro file of FreeCAD. Each our development environment. Operating system is Windows 7 64-bit, and this TransCAD and FreeCAD is latest version, and language is C++ and Python, latest Python. So each our job location, Wang Min will be in charge of preprocessor, it's FreeCAD to TransCAD, and I will make schedule. We have finally if we remain times, we have additional goals. Target system is same. Additional target model is K3 model. That's this model line. Additionally, reverb and this my presentation. This end of my presentation. Do you have a question?
Question from the other team first.
Which programming language will you use to make a translator?
What? Sorry?
Which language are you going to use to make a translator?
Translator. It's not decided yet, but I and Wang Lin prefer C++ and Yubin prefer C#, so we can decide later.
And FreeCAD doesn't support the Python version 3. Use the Python 2. So you should change the version 3 too.
Okay.
So for the additional code, you make whole processor or additional code?
Original core?
So this is the same with our additional code, but we're gonna make a whole free or
Here, both and free, but one two is real. We cannot decide yet.
Depends on the situation. So if we have enough time, we'll make pre-processing and post-processing and translator for Q3. Okay, question from TA.
Okay. Page 5. You show that you have a sketch and features in tier 1 block.
Yes.
And those things are translated between FreeCAD and TransCAD. So what I want to say is not only just sketch and features, you should consider reference.
Reference. Like name.
Naming, it can be naming and plane, data plane. So it can be for you to develop translators.
Okay.
It won't be small part. It will be the as same as the translation of sketch or features. If you encounter XY plane, you should create XY plane TransCAD, and also face and this face, this feature is the same. So when you develop a translator, it should be considered coordinate and radius and depth. That's all.
It's not.
It's called extruded,
Yeah.
but just substitute as if you can.
Okay.
FreeCAD, TransCAD supports both, so if FreeCAD supports both, then you can consider that way. And the next page, I see the workflow, and if suppose if a model contains more than 2 or 3 sketches, and you're gonna translate all the sketch first, and we'll make 3D features after that. Is that a
I-
problem? Can we do that? It's impossible. Yeah, translate all the sketches. It's impossible because of the reference. If some sketch is on surface which is created before, then it will translate after creating the feature, target feature. So sketch feature, it should. So what I mean by sketch is one of a you should just consider it as a feature.
So I here this
So-
module or function. So
So
translator.
like a workflows. I hope you are understanding exactly.
Can I ask
To me.
a question to the TA? TA, you know, when you make the cut extrude, the faces get automatically named. So to make a translator for the names, you need to basically discover the system that it uses, how to name clockwise, anti-clockwise. You know, the way it names this face one, this is face two. Is there a way to kind of find out the name for both software and then make a translator for the naming system?
In terms of TransCAD, it has its own naming method,
Right.
and we will find it. No, it's not difficult to. In terms of FreeCAD, I don't know exactly,
We have to figure it out.
yeah, you guys should have to figure it out. And
So Youngi found that it is not well supported by FreeCAD.
In case of in Algebra, the first feature is extrude. In that case, the naming rule is we can understand, but we inserted the other features. For example, cut extrude. The naming rule is changing. So in that case, I didn't understand that yet. So if you want to use the naming, the base or its name, you should verify the name rule. That is the problem.
that's all.
Do you have any more questions? Okay, the question is, comment is that even though the problem is given to you very specific,
Yeah.
I want to see what can be your competition. Say, is there any commercial system that are doing such a function already?
What function? Did like
The mission, the same mission.
this?
Right,
Uh-huh.
right. What can be your competition then? Right?
Yeah.
So I want to see any possible competitor to your final board. Also, I want to see any something like a technology tree, like what kind of technology you need to handle or to develop a translator.
Okay, I will consider.
That kind of thing I want to see. Even though it's more very specific problem mission. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for listening.
Good afternoon, professors and classmates. from now on, I'm going to start a proposal for translator FreeCAD and TransCAD. We have many 5 parts in our presentation. For the introduction and one of our progress slide, I will take that part for presentation, and the other Mohammed will take that part. Our team B, Mohammed and me, both of us are master candidates, and Mohammed major in industry engineering, major in ocean system engineering. We've decided to make the team name, which is MD. It catch up just the initial name, but we add another meaning beside Defense for-term projects. The mission is to shut down KO model by developing translator. So to be specific, as you can see, developing translator with the pre and post processor, finally we can shoot the KO model. For the motivation, these days exchange of a product between different CAD systems is important to industry and engineering. So if by reducing time waste to send and receive data between companies, it will be possible to shorten the development time. Also for the macroparametric, which is history approach, if we applied macroparametric approach, the macro information including modeling command sequence or modeling history can be exchanged. Then, therefore, it will be possible to easily modify related parameters of CAD data after conversion. Now, I would like to introduce basic but important concepts, which are the macro and API. The macro is a kind of record that is written by users, made by system, including all the modeling procedure history. So, if we input the macro file, we can get the that's generated by GUI. Also, API stands for Application Programming Interface. Without using a graphic user interface, if we use a programming interface like C++, Python, so such set of commands will manipulate application like SolidWorks and something like that. Therefore, we can expect to be efficient for repeated modeling and the removal of certain elements. Also, we can expect to reduce time-consuming jobs. You've already seen our main goal is to develop a translator between CAD and TransCAD by adapting macroparametric approach. When we finish it up, we can expect it to interoperability, like as you can see at the right side. This is another reports. So if we successful this translator, we can make more the interoperability. This is what to be specific, to develop pre-processor and post-processor integrator is our specific goal. For the pre-processor, it is translated FreeCAD to TransCAD, and for the post-processor, it is translated TransCAD to FreeCAD. This slide show we've done so far before this proposal. We've included FreeCAD and TransCAD, and for the FreeCAD, we try to model for K with the GUI and macrofile. Then we could find the problem condition in the macrofile, then simply correct the problem in macrofile. And for the transcation, after this proposal in this evening, the TUL will teach us for the API. Yeah. And from till now is my part. After that, Mohammed will give a presentation.
Good afternoon, I guess. So I'm Mohammed, the teammate of Donguk, and I will continue the presentation. The rest of this presentation is about basically what we did in FreeCAD. So we tried to make the model using the program. First, we recorded the macro, and then we tried to play the macro again, but things were not matching. There was a lot of errors. So we tried to kind of understand the line by line, then see what the error was and how to correct it. But the general workflow to make the K1 model was drawing constraints, then maybe you can edit the sketch if you want. You can do extrusion and make a sketch of the circle on top of this plane. First we made this sketch, then we made a whole extrusion, and we made the fillet at the end. So this is the general workflow. So the main problem we got when recording the macro is this. So like at the beginning we were confused, we didn't know what was going on, but now we can tell what's going on. So first, this circle here was not properly related to the surface. So the so-called FreeCAD support sketch was not defined in the face. Or actually it was defined, but it was commented out. So FreeCAD macro recording automatically comments out some commands, those related to the graphical user interface usually, because you don't need to show all the details, like all the screens. You can just draw the model. So one of the wrongly commented out commands, like it shouldn't have been commented out, is the support command for this. So when we remove the comment in the middle, and the hide, so this sketch should be hidden, it should not be shown. So again, this command was not shown. And there's another problem which I will discuss a little later, but and the third problem, that's why we don't see any holes here, but we will discuss this at the end. So as I just discussed here, there is the hide command. So hide command is with the user interface object, and it was commented out here. So by removing the comment, we to hide the command under the sketch. So we're hiding and then this here was not necessary, so it was like some default features. We could have left it, we could have deleted it, but anyways, this is like just default feature not used by the extension. And this here is the support I was talking about. So this also was commented out automatically by FreeCAD, but without defining the support of the sketch, without defining it to be phase 3 of the pad, which is this phase here, the circle will be flying around all over the place. So these were two main mistakes, or like bugs we found in macro, and we corrected them. And then once we corrected them, we got here. So the third kind of error or bug we discovered is so pad. The pad is automatically hidden. It should be hidden because the pad saves the whole model until so the pad feature saves all the model until here. Then the pocket, the model with the whole model. And then if you show both, then they will show on top of each other. So we kind of have this overlap. And this was causing the problem. That's why we couldn't see the whole. Because there was the pad, which is the full one, and then the pocket, which is the one with the, so they were on top of each other. So again, all the hide commands were automatically commented out. So hide pad here. So by removing the comment, we hide the pad in the pocket. You can see the ends. So this is the main progress we did. And just like same. So we used like Python 2.7 for FreeCAD is like used by default, and then C++ is used for TransCAD. But at the end of the day, these are just programs. So the macro file or the script file, they are programs which the software can read. So we can, as translators between programs, what we can view this as is like a string. So we have one string of commands and one string of commands or list of commands. So the way of translating is to match the template of this command and the template of this command and just find the parameters and replace them here. So we treat the whole macro file as a string, and it has some commands. Each command has a template, and we have to fill in the template with parameters. This is our like thought process. So that neutral programming language can be used to translate the Python string or the Python file to the C++ file for TransCAD. So we can use any intermediate programming language to make this translation. In our case, Python or other language, I'm not sure yet. Project plan, the API tutorial today, and then the pre-processor, post-processor, similar to the other team. And final is, I think, a goal. Let me come back to this. There's also the same extra goal as the other team. We might do it. We chose it because it's the simplest of the other models according to us. So anyways, the general as is we need to identify all kinds of concerns. So we took the book and our process. So first, all the we have like line command, we have coincident constraint command, and all these commands, and then command template in FreeCAD and template in TransCAD. And the idea is to basically so first we read the line from the macro file, or if we do that, we need a common edges, faces, or so these entities should be very like can move with like equivalent entities. Like this line here is named X, this line here is named Y. We should know that X equals Y. This we know about. So common indexing somehow, and then defining the template for each command in each syntax, and then define a function to fill in those templates by reading line by line and then identifying which command this is, and then taking the parameters and putting it in the template and so on. So we extract the command type and parameters as a string, and then we extract these, and we translate it line by filling the corresponding template in the other language. And then we just output all the commands in one macro file. The references. Thank you. Any questions?
Question from another team. First, page 8.
Yes. 9, 10.
Previous.
6.
Why FreeCAD picture is not K1 model?
Which one? This. That's it's
I cannot distinguish. Okay.
okay. Good. There you go.
I cannot remember page, but some delete to you said delete some head of FreeCAD.
Just a minute. Yes. Which page again?
Next.
This one?
This head is for same sketch.
Which one are you talking about? This one?
You should delete.
It's not necessary. When we deleted it, we got the same model. So
This head is for what sketch?
so the pad length is defined here. So we have the pad length, and we have reversed. It's 0, and midplane is 0. There is something called pad length 2. I think this is when you have like on both sides, maybe. If you have like a two-side extrude. But in our case, it was set to 0 probably, so we didn't need to set this. But I'm not quite sure. So like I think this is for the other side. If you set maybe reversed equals 1, but I'm not entirely sure. When we got the model, this part is not necessary. We can leave it. We can remove it. It's okay. For this model, it's not necessary.
I think that the second comment is team B in the
I
that
see.
is not effective to the real model.
Right.
What
Maybe.
is the mid-plane and the up-to-face?
Up-to-face is the other option. Like up-to-face is when you make the pad, you use the sketch, and the limit depth is option 1 is dimension, and up to first, up to last, up to face, 2 dimensions. One of the options is the up to face, that is when you make pad, if you have 2 pictures, and this is pad sketch, and you want to draw to this length, but you didn't know the parameters. In that case, you use the up to face and check this face and automatically make 2 in this case.
Anyways, this is real. Anyways. So,
So your problem is when you draw a circle,
yes,
so it doesn't appear.
yes, it appears here.
Okay, just like you modify the macro file
Yes.
and delete the second comment and the third comment you just like okay, so also like delete the comment.
Right.
So finally it appears.
Yes.
That's it.
This is the model, which we got from like when we drew it using the graphical user interface, the model, but the macro file was wrong. So the graphical user interface works, but the macro file does not capture all the commands, or it comments out these important commands here. But when you modify the macro file, you can get the same result as you would get by drawing with the graphical user interface, but much faster, of course, because one line, one command, and you can run the file. So.
So that is still inside FreeCAD.
Yes. You can either run it as a script file or you can play the macro file. Like there's multiple file formats that you can open by FreeCAD. Other questions? Concerns? Please.
In this case,
Yes.
the final model, you can make the final KO model.
Yes.
That is manually or automatically?
By
Use
coding,
the
by macro.
Semi-automatic.
If the macro recording was not bugged, if it was free of bugs, it would be fully automatic. But the macro has some bugs in it, so we had to remove these bugs manually. But we can make another script for removing these bugs automatically, maybe, which make it fully automatic. But because it had some errors, we had to manually correct it.
As you can see, the circle reference plane is some has problem.
Right.
Yeah, so in this figure,
Right.
you can make the KO model. How to solve the reference problem?
You mean the command for support? This command?
Yeah.
This command was
Manually change.
no, it was in the macro. This is exactly how it was in the macro. It existed, but it was commented out. So it existed, but it was commented out. So we just removed the comment. That's all. We removed the hash from here.
So the third comment is related to the reference.
Right, right. Support for this, because the sketch is in a plane. So
So you mean the deleted the comment symbol,
right,
and then you can make the
right.
KO model from the macro.
Yes.
Where I'll go from very small to large.
Sure.
On page 3. It's a very small thing, but I found the same thing from the team 1.
Uh-huh.
It's ocean systems engineering, not ocean
Okay.
system engineering.
Yeah.
Very small thing and big before.
It's also industrial and systems engineering, but anyway, it's fine.
And macroparametrics approach is the
Right.
right
Right.
way to put it. And on page 10.
Mm-hmm.
So you mean all the problems that you have mentioned were solved
Yes.
properly
Yes.
by pre-treatment, manual treatment?
Yes. By removing the hash, basically, that was the only problem. So there was too many comments.
You just remove the hashtag
Right. Right.
manually.
Yes.
So in that case, if you're not going to do it automatically,
Right.
then you can explicitly add the process pre-treatment or FreeCAD file, something like that.
Sure.
It is necessary.
Yes.
So, and page 11.
Oops.
I have similar question.
Mhm.
Vinci suggested number 2 there.
Yes.
Pad dot length 2.
Right.
And the upper side, that is not length 2, just length.
Right.
So even though you just leave it just as it is totally okay.
Yes.
Because
No difference.
the upper side shows length, just length,
Mm-hmm.
and 2 shows length 2.
Right. No difference.
So, no difference.
Like my hypothesis, really sure if reversed was equal 1, then it would use both lengths. One on one side and the other on the other side. Because reversed is 0, so this is just ignored. That's my hypothesis, but I'm not sure. But this line here was as good as. So we could have removed it and we got the same model. We could have kept it and we get the same model. So probably it has like this on-off command here.
If there is no change, if you leave it as it is, it's totally okay. But in past system, length 1 means this way,
Right.
while length 2 means this way.
Right.
And reverse means change the length of 2 lengths.
Okay.
Just leave it if it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And here 3 right hand side, there is a phase 3.
Right.
That's the thing that you have to find out, the mechanism of the
Sure. There is.
naming, and also
So if you just put the mouse over the face, you can see that it's called phase 3 at the bottom, but automation. So that's why I was asking how to make sure like match the faces from.
you need to find out the mechanism.
Right.
Though you click that phase before creating the sketch, it can be 3, but after creating the cut extrude on the face,
Mm-hmm.
it cannot be it might not be 3. It might be different one. So
I see.
you need trial and error, find out
But
the mechanism.
I think this has something to do with the. You remember like this whole. So apparently the set file associated with the fillet is the whole, and the file associated with the pocket it's model without. So maybe that's the naming confusion. That's where it comes from, because we have this face in this fillet here, and then we have the face with the pocket and the same face with the pad, because we have 3 different objects. And I'm hiding these 2 objects. So yeah, we need to figure it out, but yeah, I mean, so far we didn't need. In the future, we will need to figure it out. Yes.
And also page 12, not only just face naming mechanism, there is a edge 8 that is also important. Selecting
Right.
an edge is
Right.
similar.
Yeah, edges, faces,
Yeah,
in features. Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
Thank you. Other questions?
I have similar comments to the other team, right? What is competition, what is technology behind?
You know, the honest answer, we searched, we couldn't find anything, but maybe there is.
You can say that.
Maybe there is, I'm not sure.
But I remember there's a history free from Siemens display frame. Did you find the seminar?
Donguk, can you note this down?
In NX, the Siemens.
History modeling.
Huh?
History modeling.
History frame from Siemens. That can be another different approach, but,
Mhm.
but I know that is several years old, so there's been more development.
Maybe.
So you probably check the commercial sites. So otherwise, I'm happy with your course. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Can you push the button on the
Power.